Our parents are also our prophets. And your parents, let me tell you, most of them, they are very genuine. Most of the people who get in marriages with the problems, if they can be very sincere from day one, they knew that marriage will not work.
So I feel like you're saying one major role is actually they help you see and help you determine whether the relationship is workable to the next level.
Yes.
Hello everyone, how are you doing? I'm doing quite well, and of course this is Decoding the Process. My name is Martha and I'm so glad to have you with us here today. Thank you very much for joining us. Today is yet another exciting day and I know you're ready to hear from us. So today we've been talking about so much when it comes to dating. We've been talking about all the processes, how to know that person is really the one, consulting God and all those things. But today we want to talk about one key stakeholder in the area of dating, our parents. Stick right there. I want to introduce my guests and we will get right back. Karibu sana, madam.
Asante sana.
Yes, we are glad to have you back yet again.
Yes.
And you blessed us so much. So here we are again, and I would want you to really introduce yourself. I know there are new faces out there.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello viewers, I'm glad to be here again, and I want to thank God for what He's doing in our lives and also the lives of our children, our generations. We really thank God. My name is Reverend Jane. I'm born again. I minister with Bethel Gospel Assembly at Juja, although we have other branches, and I was sent with greetings from my husband. We have been married for 21 years, and we thank God. We are blessed with so many children, spiritual ones, biological ones, and we thank God that God has given us a privilege to be called parents. Yes.
Wow. So I'm glad we actually have a parent in the spirit and in physical. I mean, she has both sides of the coin, and she's going to enable us to understand how do parents come in when it comes to dating. Sometimes we ignore the fact that parents are a key stakeholder in this, process towards getting married, and sometimes it makes it so hard, and the process becomes very, bringing a back and forth here and there because of not following the right process. So we want to understand, do parents play a role? And if they do, what is actually their responsibility when it comes to dating? And even us, how do we cooperate with them when it comes to dating? Karibu sana, Madam Jen, you can take over.
Asante sana. I want to start by saying that kuna msemo wa Kiswahili that says asiyefunzwa na mama hufunzwa na ulimwengu, na mtoto umreavyo ndivyo akuavyo. So what I want to say is parenting, it is very key in the life of any person. And the process, when I was born, I was introduced to school. First of all, I was born. Then I was brought up. Life is also a process. And actually, most of the problems you see today, there was a time I was really attacked when I said the issues that we can see today, especially now in schools, the burning of the schools, young women and things are not right. And I said, the work of a teacher is to teach, but the work of a parent is to parent. Now, parents have given the burden of parenting to the teachers. That's why things are going wrong. I want to come to your point. When we are dating, are the parents supposed to be involved? I would say yes, 101%. Because I said, mtoto umreavyo, ndivyo akuavyo. Let me tell you something. I want to give an example with me. When I was growing up, I think I was in class 7. And my sister, when she was in Form 2, she disappeared from school and she got married. And actually, after some time, of course, marriage had few issues, and she came home. But I'm telling you, I was in class 7. But I can remember up to today, what my mother did. She told my sister, of course in Kikuyu, see, you are the one who brought me that person. Can you please go back? Are you getting it? And actually she said, "Suriona masomo, doa ndio mzuri kushida masomo." So can you go back and you come with him because you don't have a chance here in my house. Are you getting it? So when I was growing up, I knew if I get married, there is no chance of me going back home because there is no chance.
You literally left.
So I knew my marriage must work or it must work. There are no two ways, because there I cannot go back because that being iliningia. So what I want to say is, it has really helped me. One, when I met my husband, I had to be very careful because my mother was not very happy because you are coming back home. Why are you coming back home? So it really helped me to know the kind of a person I am engaging myself with, because my mother will not take it rightly. She will not just tell me, my child, come in. She didn't tell my sister, hey, come in here, usisuburiwe na mtu, hapa siku kufukuza. You are getting it, eh?
Yes.
So, dating when we start dating, our parents are very key. Number one, the way you are brought up. It really determines. Do you know there are people today, their marriages has refused to work. Not because that they are so bad, but because of the way they were brought up. The way you have seen your parents growing, the way you have seen them stay, will also determine the way you are going to stay in your marriage. So when you start dating with your partner, number one, in my previous show, I said it is very, very important to involve your parents, because our parents have another eye. I usually tell my daughter as we are growing, my daughter is almost now 20 years. I usually tell her, despite all the other friends that you have, your parent is the only person who will tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Your parent is the only person who will stand with you in case of problems and in case of good things. So when you are dating, it is good to involve your parents, as when in the stages, I talked about the stages of dating. So when it comes to now, after the fourth stage, when you are supposed to involve your parents, it is very, very important to tell with girls, go tell your mom, Mom, I have seen a certain man and he wants to marry me. Then your mother will tell you, either bring that person, I want to see him. Of course, you'll inquire history, and then you, because like in our culture, when you want to get married, you tell your mother. If you have a father, that is the person, your mother is the one who is supposed to go and tell your dad that you are getting married. You know, not these days now, hey, do you know, I have gotten somebody.
Actually, hata kabla umwambia ashaona status na Facebook, huyu mtu ako na boyfriend.
Which is not right. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So that process you cannot also ignore.
Yes.
And it is good when you get somebody, whether you are a young man or a young woman, it is good to let your parents know that I have somebody. Actually, last week I was talking to somebody and he told me, you know, now I think we are going back to those days, whereby in our village, a certain mother could tell their son, can you please make sure when you want to, ukitaka kuwa na familia, make sure you go to Kamau's home. Get me a girl from that home. What does that mean? That they have analyzed, and they can see that those girls can make good wives.
Yes.
Are you getting it? And then our mothers could tell us, hey, you see, when in that family, I would not try to have any odoni with them. I would not really love to be associated with that family. Because those boys, they are not right. You know what they tell you? If you happen to get married there is also a problem. That marriage won't work. So I want to say, it is not whether your parents are old, whether your parents are .coms, it is always good to involve them when you are starting your dating.
So at what point, when I start right at the beginning, or do I give the relationship time to prove itself, or rather its longevity? You know, for I feel like maybe, and I feel many people feel, especially young people feel like that. If I introduce at the start, I might end up introducing 10 people to my parents, maybe because, you know, a relationship reaches somewhere and maybe doesn't work. Do I introduce it at the beginning and every relationship like that, or do I wait for the relationship to, you know, materialize and be mature enough where I feel like I can now move on to the next level of now having the process right with the family and the church?
Of course, you cannot be dating somebody. I said in dating, we have 5 stages. And I said at the 4th stage, after the deep stage, the 3rd stage, you remember we talked about the 3rd stage, where you have known this person. Now, you are very comfortable that you can introduce this person. Otherwise, if you meet him today and you take a cup of tea tomorrow, then you go tell mommy I have somebody. This guy maybe was not even serious.
Yes.
He wanted to buy a cup of tea. Most of them even wanted to take you to bed, and that's all. So you must know that this guy is serious. Not introducing that you have met today on the street. Mommy, you know I have gotten somebody to marry me. It cannot work. So after now you have gone through the 3rd stage, whereby I say that is the time you know the family, where this girl comes from, where this man comes from. Is he from a Christian family? You know about their faith. You might be getting married to somebody who wants to sacrifice you. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So it is after you have known this person, so many aspects of his life, that is the time you involve your parents. And your parents, let me tell you, most of them, they are very genuine. But you see, when I was growing, when I was in church as a youth, our youth pastor used to tell us, when you are praying for a partner, don't pray when you are crossing your eye like this. I can see John, but I want to tell God to give me a husband. Are you getting it? So it is good to pray or to involve your parents, because your parents will not give you an advice when they are closing their eyes like this. They'll tell you, now, mother, where you are going, this is not right. And I'm telling you, our parents are also our prophets. At the end of the day, maybe those people who are listening to me who maybe got to marriage and it didn't work, there was somewhere your parents told you this is not right. If you go with this man, I have seen people suffering because maybe your parent told you, no, this man, you know their family, you know this. But I'm not saying 100%, because they are also parents who will tell you, because that man is not rich, don't get married to that man. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
You know that man, this is not the kind of a guy we want in this family. We want people who live in Luda. But you know, even you, when you listen to yourself, let me tell you, my dear, most of the people who get in marriages with the problems, if they can be very sincere from day one, they knew that marriage will not work. But you say, no, he'll change. She's going to change. You know, they'll tell you for sure. But I'm telling you, your parents will tell you the truth. That this one, so as you are growing in your dating, involve your parents.
So I feel like you're saying one major role is actually they help you see and help you determine whether the relationship is workable to the next level.
Yes.
Because I feel you're right. You know, there's a quote that actually says, I'm an old man seated on a stool. Rather, an old man seated on a stool is wiser, can see further than a boy on a tree.
Yes.
Which is true, because they have gone through experiences that they can even tell a candid person from a very, very fake person. They can tell the difference. They can tell whether this man is mature enough to handle marriage, because they know what marriage comes with. So it's important to listen to them, and I really love that point, because people think that parents are biased and that they will just come with, some parents are, of course, but we have assumed that all of them could actually be like that, and most of them want the best for us. Even those who are biased just want the best for us.
Yes.
So we just listen to them and then make our decisions according to the wisdom of God. Yeah, wow. So I want to ask one major question. Now, do they have any responsibility in the relationship?
Your parents?
Yes, because many people, for instance, nowadays consult their parents more than they consult their partner.
Oh, not at now, and they should be responsible up to a certain point. When you continue with your dating, of course, I have said it will grow to marriage. Okay, from the dating, you go to engagement. Then from there, if your parents give you an okay, because you also feel, you consult your parents, they will tell you that if the parents they are not comfortable with that marriage, of course they will tell you why. But if they just tell you, oh, I don't want this marriage because this boy is just in college, I don't know, he has nothing, the family background is not right, those are poor family, those are material issues.
Yes.
But you see, you are not marrying this man because of material issues. So it should be to a certain extent that your parents, because when you also allow them to dictate at this dating level, when you get in marriage, they also dictate. I have had so many issues in my counseling line that a lady is coming to cry to me that the mother-in-law is the one who determines where they'll stay, what they'll eat. Are you getting it?
Even when she's distant.
Yeah. You always, she'll just determine. Also the man will tell the son, now a man stays like this and this and this. So now your marriage, you are both of you here, but it is being controlled by a remote control from somewhere. So it will not work. So they should also determine to a certain level. Because when you get in marriage, now it is between both of you. If you did the right process, it will be between both of you. And I usually tell people, unless now your marriage has gone to another level of not misunderstanding, let me tell you, at the end of the day, whether you go to your pastor, whether you go to your parents to solve issues in your marriages, whether you go to your bestie couple, at the end of the day, the decision lies on both of you. Because a bestie couple will tell you, oh, forgive, but if you are not ready to forgive, it won't work. So I'm saying it is to a certain level. Otherwise, when you involve them so much again, it won't work. It will have issues. Yes.
Wow. I mean, parents are basically like, of course, our second God.
Yes.
It is so clear, and it has always been said that apart from God, there are people who He has entrusted our lives literally. So they are like our second gods, and we should honor them the way they are. So of course, there's so much you can talk about when it comes to parents. And I just want you to conclusively, in a few minutes, in 1 minute or so, just conclusively tell us the main importance, and of course, talk to these young people and tell them how they can involve their parents, in a balanced way as they date before they go into marriage.
I think it's one of the things that when you don't believe or when you don't obey your parents, tumesoma Sunday school or through that we have to obey our parents so that our days can be numbered. Young people, we have a generation that thinks they know everything, know it all. But at the end of the day, you get the no 1%. And I want also to talk to parents. These days also, we have neglected our duties as parents. I live in Tanzania. And one of the things that I realized, they are very passionate about training their young men and women in readiness of their marriage. Are you getting it? Actually, like a girl in Tanzania, when they are getting married, when you are employed, you take a leave, go to your auntie, you be prepared for that marriage. And you see, marriages will work because it is only a tip from your parent. And because you have a lot of trust with your parent, or you are the true aunties who are there. In Kenya, I think we have very few. Because mwingine aliniambia, actually I took my boyfriend to my aunt, akaninganganya. Are you getting it? And you dare tell me now this was now her second, because you don't have an auntie. She told me, let me tell you, we don't even see each other eye to eye. I asked her why. She told me, let me tell you, up to today, my aunt took my boyfriend. Are you getting it?
All right.
So, Kenya, I think these have gone upside down. Some of these things, but we have to corner remnants that let young people know that life is a process.
Yeah.
And when you realize a man telling you that please don't involve your parents, just know there is no marriage.
Yes.
Are you getting it? Please, me, I don't want to be involved with your parents. Surely somebody have brought you up, taken you to school.
You should honor them actually for raising such a woman.
Are you getting it? So, yeah, taking you to school, he has gotten a very beautiful girl called mother here, and then you dare tell me not to involve my parents? It is not right. So that is one of the red signs, that this guy want to misuse me, or this lady, she tells you, by the way I saw your mommy, we cannot be right. I think she's not okay.
I'm the smaller version of my mom, so that means in a few days we will also not be right.
Someone said if you want to see your wife when she's old, look at your mother-in-law.
Yes.
Are you getting it? And vice versa. If you want to see your husband after when he aged, just look at his father-in-law. So what I'm saying, we cannot ignore our parents. It is like just when I'm talking to young people, when you see a relationship, someone telling you, please, usiabie mom, usiabie dad, just know something will not be right at the end of the tunnel. So let's involve our parents. Let's also involve God, because with God, everything is possible. Let's also, as we are dating, let's also know that we have to preserve ourselves for the greater thing that is a marriage. Otherwise, young girls are being born every day. Young handsome men are being born every day. Don't be in a hurry that I want to run to go and get this one. Young girls are still coming. Angels are still coming. And yours specifically is coming. And our parents, let me tell you, they'll always tell you the right things.
Yes.
Very few percentage, because they are there who will mislead you. But our parents will also take you to the right thing.
Wow.
Yes.
I know you've had it all. And also I feel like the major role of parents is in the showing a good example.
Yes.
Many people out here are actually suffering because they have had a very bad example
No
of
role
what
models. Role models.
So that is one major, because I've realized actually children especially learn by seeing, not by what you tell them to do all the time. I mean, do this, but they are seeing you doing the opposite. So they learn exactly that. So yeah, I mean, guys, parents are important, and of course, because you're going to be future parents, make sure you learn to be the best versions of yourself, so that your children can also learn from the best. And I know from our own pastor and of course parent here, Madam Jane, she had a lot of wisdom, and as a parent she knows where she stands. Thank you very much. Today has been an amazing day, a day full of a lot of practical wisdom, and we know that as you're seated there watching us, and wherever you're watching us from, you have learned the importance of having that parent. Whether you're an orphan, there is somebody God has placed in your life that you can honor. Make sure you do so. This is Decoding the Process. And of course, we love it when you join us every Tuesday. And of course, when you join us with friends and talk to more people who are able to watch this and know the truth that will set them free. Thank you very much. Have a blessed evening.